Picture this. Someone goes online to share their thoughts, thinking it's just another harmless rant, and suddenly their entire life flips upside down. That's exactly what happened to this woman. She took to social media to vent about how she doesn't cook for her husband, but what she didn't expect was a wave of criticism, judgment, and consequences that came crashing down on her. What started as a few words typed out in frustration spiraled into something so destructive that she ended up losing everything, even a place to call home. This isn't just about cooking. It's about how one post can destroy your reputation, your relationships, and your stability in the blink of an eye. Fellas, let's go into details on what we have today. Grab a sit, let's sink in.
I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number 3, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the fuck out the house. So I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Guys, let's really talk about this situation because it's one that reflects exactly what's wrong with a lot of modern mindsets today. A woman openly came out and said she has no duty to cook for her husband. She boldly declared that the only people she can cook for are her children, and that her husband should fend for himself in the kitchen. She said it's his job as a man to take care of her and the kids financially, but when it comes to the basic things that make a home run smoothly, like food, like laundry, like care, she's checking out completely. That was her mindset. That was her approach to marriage. And guess what? In just a blink of an eye, her husband had enough and divorced her. And today, she's out on the street, homeless, crying for a second chance, wishing she had done things differently. Now let's break this down because a lot of women today don't realize how damaging this kind of attitude is. Marriage is a partnership. A man steps into that role and takes on the heavy weight of responsibility, providing, protecting, leading, sacrificing. But the moment a woman feels she has no responsibility back, no accountability, no duty to pour into her man, that's the moment the marriage is already doomed. You can't keep taking and taking without ever giving back and expect a man to keep holding the line. Men get tired too. And in this case, the husband reached his limit. Think about it. This woman said she won't cook, she won't wash, she won't iron, and she won't contribute to bills. What exactly is she bringing to the table then? Marriage is not just about being served. It's about serving each other. A man is not looking for a dependent who drains him. He's looking for a partner who adds value. Yet this modern idea that women should do the bare minimum while expecting maximum effort from men is destroying homes left and right. When men walk away, women often find out the hard way that the world isn't as forgiving as their husbands were. This woman thought her entitlement was enough to hold her marriage together. Now, she's out in the cold, begging, saying, "Had I known." But that regret doesn't bring her marriage back. That regret doesn't undo the years of neglect. It's too late. Gentlemen, this is a lesson for all of us to see. Stop entertaining women who show you from day one that they don't value you, that they don't respect the work you put in, and that they feel entitled to your labor without giving anything back. A wife is supposed to be a helper, not a burden. A wife is supposed to respect her man, not compete with him or neglect him. Too many women today want to play the role of children in their own homes, wanting to be cared for but refusing to carry responsibility. And when men start holding the line, saying enough is enough, this is what happens. And ladies, if you're listening, understand this. No marriage survives on pride. No relationship thrives when one side refuses to do their part. Respect, humility, and service go both ways. If you think marriage is just about what you can get, rather than what you can give, don't be surprised when that marriage falls apart. Don't cry, "Had I known," when it's already too late. At the end of the day, This woman's downfall was her own pride, her own refusal to honor the man who stood by her, and her own selfishness that blinded her. She lost her husband, her home, and her stability, and all of it could have been avoided if she simply understood the power of partnership.
A few weeks ago, I said I don't do my husband's laundry, and a lot of people are saying, whoa, 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 those are small acts of kindness. Why wouldn't you want to do that for your partner? But here's the thing. Small acts of kindness that are mostly domestic labor just add up to work at the end of the day. So here's a list of things that I don't do for my husband. You all know, I don't do his laundry. He can do that himself. I do my laundry, and we do the kids' laundry, but he does his own. I don't cook dinner. He cooks dinner every single night. I do breakfast and lunch for us and our kids. I don't pack him a lunch. If he's hungry, he'll figure out what he's going to eat for lunch the same way that I do. I don't make his doctor's appointments because guess what? He's not making mine. Would it be kind of me to do that? For sure. Is it my job? Absolutely not. I want him to be healthy, but he's a grown-ass man and he can book his own appointments, right? There's a lot of things that I don't do for my husband. I don't schedule his haircuts. I don't pack his clothes for vacation. Right? I don't do those things. I don't buy him new underwear when it's got holes in it. All of those are things that he's a grown man and he can do himself. Can I do small acts of kindness for him? Of course I can. And I do. I see a vinyl that I think he's going to like because he's creating a vinyl collection. I buy it. I'm at the store and I see something that I think he might enjoy eating. I buy it. I find a new non-alcoholic beer that he wants to try out. I buy it. Right? Those are small acts of kindness. Doing his laundry, cooking him dinner, making him lunch, booking his doctor's appointments, all those things, that's domestic labor. Those are chores. Those are not acts of kindness. Do I do them occasionally when he's working a lot? Of course. Do I cook dinner sometimes when he's had a really long day? Of course. But me not doing that does not mean that I don't show him love or kindness. They're different things. It is not my job as a wife, it is not in my job description to do all the domestic labor as small acts of kindness to my partner and receive nothing in return. I agree with this commenter. If it's going both ways, fantastic. But oftentimes, domestic labor, especially when you have children, adds up. And so no, I am not my husband's personal secretary or his personal assistant. I am none of those things. I am his partner, I am his equal, and I do not have to do things to cater to him and serve him at all times to be kind and loving for him.
A woman openly admitted just a few weeks ago that she stopped doing her husband's laundry. People around her tried to talk sense into her, tried to let her see how ungrateful that sounded. But instead of reflecting, she doubled down. She laid out a full list of things she refuses to do for her husband. And the shocking part? These weren't outrageous demands. These were small acts of care, basic responsibilities that hold a home together. Yet she decided she was above all of it. She said directly that she no longer does her husband's laundry, that he handles it on his own. Then she added that the only laundry she participates in is for the children, and even then, it's done together as a task. That's not the picture of a supportive wife. That's not someone invested in making life easier for her partner. That's someone drawing lines in a marriage and treating her husband as a roommate rather than a life companion. It didn't stop there. She admitted she doesn't even cook dinner. Instead, she expects her husband to cook every single night. The only meals she handles are breakfast and lunch, and even then, it sounds more like an obligation than an act of care. Imagine that. Working all day, providing for your family, and still being expected to come home and cook dinner because your wife refuses to do it. That's not partnership. That's neglect disguised as empowerment. She even went further to say she doesn't pack his lunch. Her exact words were, "If he's hungry, he'll figure out what he's going to eat the same way I do." That statement alone shows the lack of regard she has for her husband. No thoughtfulness, no effort, no respect. Marriage isn't about making sure only the kids are cared for. It's also about making sure your partner feels supported. Ignoring that completely tears away the foundation of a healthy relationship. This is why so many marriages collapse. When one side constantly gives and the other side constantly takes, resentment grows. A husband who works tirelessly and still has to carry the home on his back eventually reaches a breaking point. And when that moment comes, no amount of excuses or last-minute regret can fix it. Marriage isn't sustained by word or titles. It's sustained by actions. A wife who refuses to contribute to the household in these simple yet meaningful ways shows she has no interest in being a true partner. She may enjoy the idea of being married, but she rejects the responsibilities that come with it. And when a woman approaches marriage with that mindset, she risks losing everything: her husband, her stability, and her respect.
This is probably why I'm gonna be single. forever. Not really by choice. It's not about being insecure. It's about staying the fuck in your lane. Because honestly, when it comes to the whole finding a wife thing, a lot of men want women to cook and clean. I'm just like, not gonna fucking cook and clean. Cook! Like, I've been eating canned fucking tuna for the past 15 years of my fucking life. I'm not cooking for myself. Why the fuck am I gonna cook for you? So I get why you would not want to choose a woman like me to be your wife. I don't really look like a wife either. I'm pretty. I get it. Thanks to mom and dad. Shout out to Big G. But like, I am not prim and proper. I'm not gonna be a trophy wife, okay? My hair, highlights. Yeah, that's the most type of upkeep that I do. I don't even shave my legs. I go months without shaving my legs. So I am a DJ, okay? Travel the world. I get paid to party. I'm around men. No one's gonna fucking take me seriously. No man that wants an ambitious woman, they lie. Women with ambition are women that can't be controlled. You have a voice. Your voice gives an opinion. Men don't like women to have opinions. So in conclusion, amongst a lot of other things, I just feel like I'm gonna be single forever. Not because of me not choosing men, but because men not choosing me. Because clearly, I just don't make the fucking cut.
A modern woman openly admitted that she will forever be single because she refuses to cook or clean. And honestly, I couldn't help but laugh hearing that. Imagine being so proud of rejecting the most basic parts of adulthood that you go online to announce it to the world. Cooking and cleaning aren't punishments. They aren't oppression. They aren't slavery. They're just part of living like a responsible adult. Yet here we are, with women declaring that they'd rather be alone for the rest of their lives than lift a finger in their own homes. It's shocking when you think about it. How can someone be so against doing the bare minimum, the things every human being should be doing for themselves, and still expect to be considered wife material? This mindset exposes the selfishness that's dominating the so-called modern woman. She doesn't want partnership. She doesn't want balance. She doesn't want to build a home. She wants to be served, catered to, and carried through life while doing the least. This is the problem. A lot of women today think marriage is a lifestyle upgrade, not a responsibility. They look at cooking and cleaning as beneath them, yet they still expect a man to provide financially, protect them, cover the bills, and take care of the household. That's not equality, that's entitlement. You can't pick and choose only the benefits of tradition while rejecting the responsibilities that come with it. That mindset will leave women exactly where this one already admits she'll be, single forever. And here's the irony. Cooking and cleaning are not about gender. They're about maturity. Every adult, male or female, should be capable of maintaining their home and preparing meals. A man who doesn't cook or clean is seen as irresponsible, sloppy, or immature. But when a woman says she won't do it, suddenly it's supposed to be empowering. That's not empowerment. That's laziness dressed up as independence. The sad reality is that this type of thinking is why so many relationships fail before they even start. A man wants peace, partnership, and a woman who values the small things that make a home. If a woman is already announcing that she refuses to do the simplest acts of care, what incentive does a man have to commit to her? Love isn't just words, it's action. And when the actions are missing, the relationship has no chance. This so-called modern woman thinks she's making a bold statement by saying she'll never cook or clean, but what she's really doing is admitting to the world that she isn't ready for a serious relationship, that she isn't willing to invest in anyone but herself. And that's fine if she wants to live that way. But let's not pretend she's being unfairly judged when she's the one advertising that she refuses to do the basics. The truth is simple. No man is looking for a woman who prides herself on doing nothing. No man is eager to marry a woman who openly admits she brings no value into the daily life of a household. And if this is what modern womanhood looks like, then it's no wonder why so many men are walking away from it.
I thought you was gonna cook.
Okay, but I'm tired. I'm tired. I had to take a shower and stuff, and I had to walk the dog, everything. Yes, I've been watching TV shows. I'm a little tired and exhausted and stuff. I don't wanna.
So you didn't even start cooking.
I mean,
the dishes is not washed.
You can buy a maid. I'm not a maid either.
A maid? You gotta be a maid to clean?
I'm not a maid. I'm not cleaning. I don't clean. I don't want to clean. I'm not that type of girl. I'm not a cleaning type of girl. I don't do that. I don't know what you're not understanding.
What do you mean by that? like a type of girl? You don't know how to just take care of responsibilities? You don't have no responsibilities.
Exactly, because I have you.
You rely on me to do everything.
Okay, you're the man. Be a man. Don't be sassy about it. I already told you about this.
Though.
Okay.
I'm literally just a man.
Okay. Didn't you just say that you not paying the rent? And now you have $10. Where is your money going? I'm not understanding. I need new clothes. I need to take pictures and stuff. Like you're never home. This is getting really annoying.
I don't have $10 to just spend on you or $30 to just spend on you to eat. And I'm supposed to be saving up for the rent.
Okay,
literally.
So rent is only $12.50.
Take my shoes off and you over here arguing with me.
Hey, go sell the shoes so I can get a better meal. We can go eat steak.
I worked a 12-hour shift and you acting like this, bro?
Okay, you're not going to sleep.
You can't just rest?
No, I need this thing. I'm bored.
A man goes out, works a 12-hour shift, breaks his back to provide for his family. And when he gets home, his wife hasn't cooked, hasn't cleaned, hasn't lifted a finger. That right there's disgusting. How do you stay home all day while your husband is out grinding, only to leave him coming back to a messy house and no food? That's not partnership. That's betrayal disguised as marriage. And when he asked her why, her excuse was that she was tired. Tired from what? Tired because she spent her whole day watching TV shows. Think about that. A man is sacrificing his body and his health, working long hours to make sure there's food on the table, bills are paid, and his family is taken care of, and the woman sitting at home doing nothing has the audacity to say she's too tired to cook a meal. That's not tired. That's selfishness. When a wife refuses to handle her basic responsibilities at home, what she's really saying is, I don't value my husband. I don't respect his sacrifices. I don't care enough to do my part. That's not a wife, that's a dependent. Marriage was never meant to look like this. If a man is out there putting the work, the least a woman can do is make sure the house is in order and that he has something to eat when he comes back. That's not slavery. That's support. That's love in action. But it gets worse. Instead of admitting her wrong, she turned around and told him, if you want that, go hire a maid because I'm not a maid. Can you imagine? This is the woman he chose to marry, the one who vowed to build a home with him, now comparing the role of a loving wife to that of hired help. That's insulting, disrespectful, and shows just how far gone this mindset has become. And here's what many women fail to understand. Cooking and cleaning are not about being made. They are about building a home. They are about showing care, about creating peace, about making sure your husband feels appreciated after carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. A man doesn't ask his wife to do these things because he's lazy. He asks because he wants a partner who cares enough to share in the responsibilities. But when a woman proudly refuses, she destroys the foundation of her own marriage. This is why so many men are walking away. They're tired of being treated like second-class citizens in their own homes. They're tired of breaking themselves to provide while their wives act entitled, lazy, and dismissive. Respect goes both ways. And when women fail to give that respect, they lose the very men who are holding everything together. What happened here is not just about one meal or one argument. It's about attitude. This woman revealed her true heart when she said she's not a maid. What she really meant is that she doesn't see value in serving her husband, that she doesn't see any responsibility in maintaining her home. And when that's the attitude, the marriage will not survive. Any woman who thinks she can neglect her husband's needs, neglect her role in the house, and still keep a marriage strong is living in a fantasy. That kind of pride, laziness, and selfishness will always end in regret.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
So hard to talk right now. Situation's so hard. I'm just trying to relax. I tried to fix it after 3 days with my husband. And he's just like, no, you can't, you know? Like, I'm done with you. Today he keeps reiterating, like, through text message, like, we can be brother and sister in Christ. Sorry, this couldn't work out. So I came to live with my family, but they're hopping from place to place because they don't have a place. 7 days here, 7 days there. It's the hardest situation. We're about to go through a divorce. My husband not being there for me, and he knows the situation my family's in, which is one argument that we had before I left the house, because he said if your family loses their house, then they can stay here. But once it happened, I asked him and he said no. Now I'm in this situation with them because he doesn't want me back. I don't know. I just got a new job. And he said he's done helping me. He's done paying my bills on March 15th. So it's like helping my family, trying to pay my bills, not having a house, moving every freaking 7 to 14 days from place to place with the company my mom works for, because it's like they have vacation houses, but it's just the most humiliating, degrading, low position ever. And just to know that like I'm married and like my husband just doesn't care and isn't helping, doesn't want me. Like I left the house because you threatened to call the cops on me when I wasn't even yelling at you. I don't know what's going on in my life. I'm over it. I'm just like, what is happening? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of struggle and pain.
We don't get in relationships thinking of the ending. We got to know that that's a possibility. Just know life can start lifing. Life can turn on us in an instant. Always make sure you're good, regardless. And that goes for women and men. Always make sure you can still stand on your feet if things go south. Make sure your credit good, and make sure you have income coming to you, because your income does help with the household. But if that household were to crumble and you are on your own, you are self-sufficient and you will not be in this situation. Enjoy the relationship. It's beautiful. Pour into the relationship. But make sure you're taking care of you too. That in case something like this happens, that you're good and you don't have to start over. We got to do better. And even if your relationship didn't end, the car stopped working every once in a while, a medical issue might arise. You should always be prepared for the rain. Every day is not going to be sunny. This lady did not prepare for the rain. My advice right now would be, so you got to find some emotional support. You need to go find local resources. And now that you have this job, you got to start budgeting. You got to get your finances together. Go seek legal advice. And don't forget to take care of yourself, because your mental health is everything. Go ahead and cry. But then after you finish crying, you get up and you get to work, because nobody's going to do it for you. Do you think her husband should continue helping her out until she get on her feet? What are your thoughts? Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what to do. Let's get this conversation going. And remember, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Let's go.
Her husband chased her out of the house. Now she's homeless. And as always, she's not being honest about what she actually did that made him throw her out. Because let's be real, when a man gets to the point of putting his wife out of the home, that woman has done him dirty. Men don't just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm done, get out. It doesn't work like that. Something serious had to happen, and she's leaving out the details because she knows if people heard the full truth, nobody would be on her side. Listen closely to how she tells her story. Notice how she can't blame him for anything. She's not saying he cheated. She's not saying he hit her. She's not saying he neglected her or abandoned the family. None of that. And that silence speaks louder than anything else. That's how you know she did wrong. That's how you know she crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. And I want to hear his side of the story, because men don't just throw away good women. A man doesn't discard a loyal, respectful wife for no reason. If he put her out, if he made that final decision, it's because he had the evidence. It's because she did something unforgivable. Maybe she lied, maybe she cheated, maybe she disrespected him in a way that destroyed the foundation of the marriage. But whatever it was enough for him to say no more. See, a lot of women love to play the victim after the fact. They'll cry. They'll say they're homeless. They'll beg for sympathy. But when you peel back the layers, you realize they're not telling the whole story. They leave out the parts where they betrayed the man, where they disrespected him, where they pushed him to the edge. And by leaving those parts out, they try to make the man look heartless when in reality he was reacting to years of being hurt, used, or lied to. Men have patience. Men endure a lot before they take drastic measures. A man will forgive, he will compromise, he will try to work it out. But once he decides to put you out, once he says it's over, that's a sign he's had enough. That's a sign the damage is too deep. So when I hear her cry about being homeless, but I don't hear her admitting what she actually did, it tells me everything I need to know. She's hiding the truth because the truth makes her look guilty. Women like this want to rewrite the narrative after the fact. They want to make it seem like men are just cold, cruel, and heartless. But the reality is, men don't just discard women for sport. They discard women who destroy the trust, who destroy the love, who destroy the very foundation of the marriage. And if she's sitting there unable to blame him for anything, then she knows deep down she caused this herself. This isn't about a man randomly deciding to ruin his home. This is about a woman who made choices that cost her everything. She gambled with her marriage and she lost. And now she's paying the price, not because he's evil, but because she failed to be the wife she was supposed to be. And that right there's a reality, gentlemen. When you see a woman crying after being put out, don't just take her words at face value. Look at what she's not saying. Look at what she refuses to admit. Because a man doesn't just walk away from a good woman. He walks away from betrayal, from disrespect, from lies that cut too deep. And once that decision is made, there's no turning back. Women who play games, who hide the truth, who take advantage of a man's patience, always end up in regret. Because you can fool strangers on the internet, but you can't fool the man who lived with you and saw your true character. And for the men listening, protect your peace, protect your standards, and don't be afraid to walk away when a woman shows you she doesn't value you. Because the right one will never make you feel disposable, and the wrong one will always expose herself in time. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.